Hello Sagittarius and welcome to Ultra Instinct Tarot. My name is Andres and I will be taking care of you for this reading. Alright, so I will get the assistance from these three books for your reading as they talk very, very wonderfully about these subjects. So I will be using these three oracle decks as well as my own creation, the Office Oracle deck. Alright, and I'd just like to remind you of the whole point of this channel is for us to find our own Ultra Instinct. So we're just gonna go with the flow and see what happens. We start off with the Six of Swords. With the keyword here is science. So in the Tree of Life, we are here where the sun is, or Holy Guardian Angel is, of the swords, so of the mind. So this is a perfect home for the mind. Science. I used to not understand why science would be a good keyword for the Six of Swords, but it honestly kind of makes sense if you think about it. So the swords are all about, the mind and using the mind. So that's why they equate a sword to represent the mind, because it really represents what you're doing. If you don't have good control of a sword, you might hurt yourself. You might cut yourself with this sword that you're trying to handle, and you probably will hurt others too, especially if you don't know how to handle the sword very well. So it's the same with the mind. If you don't know how to handle your mind very well, you're going to keep on hurting yourself. It's really what anxiety and depression is. It does. And same with others. If you don't use your mind well, your mind will tell you a bunch of mean things about others as well, and you could say those. So it's not using the mind as a good tool. Just as a swordsman, really needs to learn how to use his sword, his tool. And since 6 is a good home for this mind, so if it's the mind being used the best it can be, then that would be science, because science is all analytical. It's trying to understand your surroundings. And so when you don't understand the surroundings, it's easy to hurt yourself or others, as you aren't really seeing reality for what it is. So science is the perfect form of using the mind, because it's not judgmental, it's not hurting anyone, it is just being analytical and saying things for what they are. This is a sphere, because I know the characteristics of the sphere, and so next time I see a sphere, I know to judge it as a sphere and not as a triangle or a cube. That is what our mind is for, to help us understand our surroundings and ourselves. And it's not used to try to just cut people apart. Alright, so the Six of Swords is Mercury in Aquarius. This is Lord of Earned Success. Alright, so in chapter 8, you are introduced to the small rose cross at the heart of the Hermetic rose cross. I presumptuously labeled it the rose cross of being. And the 6 of this figure is found at the very center of the card, and 6 matched and balanced swords focus their powers of analysis and discrimination upon the mysteries of being. This is science. The conservative beauty of this card announces that the shining balance of Teferath brings a much-needed measure of nobility and clear-headedness to the suit of swords. The formula that creates the character of this card couldn't be more auspicious for the suit of swords. In the human soul, the counterpart of Yetzirah is the Ruach, or the intellect. On the Tree of Life, the center of the Ruach radiates from Teferath. Finally, an air planet, Mercury, finds itself in the fixed air sign of Aquarius. Someone with Mercury and Aquarius in his or her natal horoscope is said to have a keen, analytical mind and an extraordinary ability to concentrate. He or she is also intensely curious and enjoys examining both sides of a question. Sounds like a scientist, doesn't it? So it's like trying to find the actual truth instead of trying to defend one's own beliefs, or fight against other beliefs. This is a looking. We just want the truth. We want to have fun finding it. The Lovers. Ooh. Number 6. So for me, there's these two cups. There's two cards that really talk about love, and that's the Lovers and the Two of Cups. For me, the Lovers is your own inner love. So this has nothing to do with anybody else except for yourself. This is you and your holy guardian angel. It's gonna be your first real true love. And then others, the pattern can continue, and others you can get love from others, but the pattern has to start somewhere, and it has to start within yourself. It has to start in your heart. You can't forget about your first love. And your first love is always going to be yourself. Which is why I enjoy people who sacrifice themselves for other people. But at the end of the day, you're sacrificing your first true love, It's not something I wanna keep doing. So the Lovers. What we call love is really a whole spectrum of relating, reaching from the earth to the sky. At the most earthly level, love is sexual attraction. Many of us remain stuck there because our conditioning has burdened our sexuality with all kinds of expectations and repressions. Actually, the biggest problem with sexual love is that it never lasts. Only if we accept this fate can we really celebrate it for what it is. Welcome its happening and say goodbye with gratitude when it's not. And as we mature, we can begin to experience the love that exists beyond sexuality and honors the unique individuality of the other. We begin to understand that our partner often functions as a mirror, reflecting unseen aspects of our deeper self and supporting us to become whole. This love is based in freedom, not expectation or need. Its wings takes us higher and higher towards the universal love that experiences all as one. So these three things are to be taken note of. The lowest love is sex, it is physical, and the highest refinement of love is compassion. Sex is below love, compassion is above love. Love is exactly in the middle. Very few people know what love is. 99% of people, unfortunately, think sexuality is love. It is not. Sexuality is very animal. It certainly has the potential of growing into love, but is not actual love, only a potential. If you become aware and alert, meditative, then sex can be transformed into love. And if your meditativeness becomes total, absolute, love can be transformed into compassion. Sex is the seed, love is the flower, compassion is the fragrance. Buddha has defined compassion as love plus meditation. When your love is not just a desire for the other, when your love is not only a need, when your love is a sharing, when your love is not that of a beggar but an emperor, when your love is not asking for something in return but is ready only to give for the sheer joy of giving, then add meditation to it and the pure fragrance is released. That is compassion. Compassion is the highest phenomenon. And this is 1,000,000% talking about yourself, your own compassion that you give yourself, the way you handle your own sword and treat yourself with the sword. You keep cutting yourself down, or do you use these swords to assist you? So start treating yourself in that way. Yeah, start treating the master that way, which is yourself, which is yeah, this is another yourself card. Wow, this feels really homely. The swords are excited of where they are in their home. In here. The Lovers, that's also talking about this home in here. And the Master maybe could be up here, but it's the same thing going down. The Master. Taking me a bit to find it. Maybe you're being too analytical. But there's a good love to be found here. The Master in Zen is not a master over others, but a master of himself. Alright, there's that repeated message now. Of not having to deal with others, of having to deal with yourself. His every gesture and his every word reflects his enlightened state. He has no private goals, no desire that anything should be other than the way it is. His disciples gather around him not to follow him, but to soak up his presence and be inspired by his example. In his eyes they find their own truth and reflected, and in his silence they fall more easily into the silence of their own beings. Master welcomes the disciples not because he wants to lead them, but because he has so much to share. Together they create an energy field that supports each unique individual in finding his or her own light. If you can find such a master, you are blessed. If you cannot, keep on searching. Learn from the teachers and the would-be masters and move on. Chairaveti, said Gautama the Buddha. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Beyond mind, there is an awareness that is intrinsic, that is not given to you by the outside, and is not an idea, and there is no experiment up to now that has found any center in the brain which corresponds to awareness. Okay, this awareness I feel is important because it's beyond the mind, and this is the mind at its best, at its most natural. There are lovers here, which is you and yourself and the way you treat yourself. And then there's a master, which is like, it feels like this evolved. It's like you're finally going beyond the mind to find that love within yourself. And it's going to lead you directly to the master. The whole work of meditation is to make you aware of all that is mind and disidentify yourself from it. That very separation is the greatest revolution that can happen to man. Now you can do and act on only that which makes you more joyous, fulfills you, gives you contentment, makes your life a work of art, a beauty. But this is possible only if the master is in you is awake. Right now the master is fast asleep, and the mind, the servant, is playing the role of master. And the servant is not even your servant. The servant is created by the outside world, follows the outside world and its laws. Once your awareness becomes a flame, it burns up the whole slavery that the mind has created. There's no blissfulness more precious than freedom, than being a master of your own destiny. Yeah, that's nice. With the Princess of Discs. Alright, this is a beautiful card. It's also the cover of this book. The Princess of Discs. This is the earth of earth. Winged ram's head is the crest. Alright, I think we're just gonna read this. Or just parts of it. Alright, her potential is limitless. She is strong and beautiful, Crowley confirms, with an expression of intense brooding, as if about to become aware of secret wonder. She is the essence of the highest high and the lowest low. As earth of earth, she is the lowest court card of the lowest suit. She is the ultimate princess. Not only is she pregnant with the highest high and the lowest low and everything in between of the suit of discs, She is pregnant with the highest high, lowest low, and everything in between of all the suits. She is the Malkut of Malkuts and carries within her body the potential of all possible possibilities and the key to perpetuating the life of the universe. I feel like these two are connected, the Master and the Princess of Discs. They're probably the lovers. Alright, and then I think we'll just end this one with this little passage. So, every student of this essay and this book of Tahuti, this living book that guides man through all time and leads him to eternity at every page, hold fast this simplest, most far-reaching doctrine in his heart and mind, flaming in the inmost of his being, that he also, having explored each recess of the universe, may therein find the light of truth. So come to the knowledge and conversation of the holy guardian angel and accomplish the great work. Attain the summum bonum, true wisdom, and perfect happiness. Potential is limitless. So I feel like these people got some secrets for you, Sagittarius. Maybe this will help. The Eight of Pentacles, something that you've been working on for a while, that you've been nurturing, like a flower takes a while to bloom, it needs to be watered, needs to be put in soil, needs to be taken care of. And it looks like that's exactly what's going on. All these are just beautiful cards that make you feel right at home. Beyond the mind, the lovers, the Master, and the Princess of Discs. Creating something that's been in the works for a while. Yeah, I will read the Eight of Pentacles. So I don't even feel like I need to talk too much because I just feel so comfortable and so like it almost feels when I talk it's disrupting this nice beautiful silence that's going on. So the Eight of Pentacles is about talent, commitment, craftsmanship, expertise, ambition. Deep in concentration, the Fool is crafting something truly perfect. We see devotion and commitment to his creation, as well as contentedness. He is labor of love. After a long search, he found his true purpose and gradually mastered his job. Even with his excellence, he still remains curious and excited to learn new techniques, knowing that true mastery always requires curiosity. There's that mastery word again. You are becoming a master of something that you probably started from the beginning too, from the lowest of low, but you could be at the highest of the high now. Find pleasure in the work. Learn to enjoy the process, not just the rewards. Relish the satisfaction of getting things just right. Yeah, I mean, you're in the Six of Swords and the Two of Wands. Interesting. You got the whole world in your hand. Damn, Sagittarius. Yeah, you are something good, something you have been working on for a long time. Two of Wands. What a nice reading, dude. All just nice cards. Two of Wands is about planning, making decisions, preparation, exploration. Two of Wands molds new ideas into concrete plans. This card represents the stage of preparation, discovery, and details. Fool takes the spark of creation and develops long-term plans. He researches and designs his future, then maps a path toward his goal. Here he leaves his comfort zone, using his courage to create something new. All these three cards have been about creating, and it seems like they came from all of this, from something that you really, really love. I'm proud of you, Sagittarius. Keep on doing what you're doing. It's clearly something that you truly care about, and it's clearly something that's gonna, It's gonna bring out a Princess of Discs. Yeah, just to round out this beautiful reading for Sagittarius. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Alright, this one already turned over. And it's okay. Boogie Wonderland. Dance, party, sing, be goofy, be silly. Why so serious? Goodbyes don't have to be sad. Have Kevin grand you up from the front and Aaron pretend to help you from behind. It will be a better tribute to your years here. Things are coming full circle. If you are already going out, you might as well go out with a bang. Ooh. What? Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing. Yeah, you're clearly not doing this thing. You know, you're doing exactly what you love. And even if an idiot would do that, if it's something that you love, you're gonna do it anyway. And I'm proud of you for it. And who cares what everybody else thinks? You know, even if somebody else said an idiot would do that, but if you don't think that an idiot would do that, or if you want to be the idiot that would do that, do it. Thank you, Sagittarius, for being here. Have a good time. See you next time.